So do you also want to extract the details from the lease agreements? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use AI to extract lease agreements data from PDFs to Google Sheets. So like you, I also used to manually extract the details from all the lease agreements, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the lease agreement into my Google Drive, automatically my AI agent is going to extract the details from that agreement, and further we are just going to add that details into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, OpenAI and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'll show you how to use an AI agent to extract the key details from lease agreements like the tenant name, rental terms, payment schedules, and automatically organize them into a Google Sheet. So no more manual copy pasting or tedious document review. This is perfect for real estate managers, legal teams, or anyone dealing with high volumes of contracts. So let's build an efficient document to sheet pipeline with the help of an AI agent in Pabbly Connect. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open my dashboard. And after opening the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account, over here I'm just going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here you can see that on my dashboard I've already created multiple folders in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created multiple, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: extract lease agreements data from PDFs to Google Sheets. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and action are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application, which is Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new file in a specific folder and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected a Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in with Google, now Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. And now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions, so I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And after connecting this, over here it is asking me to select the folder or the subfolder. So over here you can see the name of my folder is lease agreements. So I'm just going to select the same right over here, which is lease agreements. So before selecting the folder, you have to make sure that the folder you're selecting should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by shareable one? So you have to keep in mind that over here you have to go towards the folder name, share, and then once again towards this share. And over here the general access should be anyone with the link and editor. So you have to keep in mind that the general access should be anyone with the link and editor. Otherwise your AI agent will not be able to extract the details from the particular document. And after selecting the folder, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based based application. So polling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying the trigger will check for the new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive. So first we have to do the test submission, and then only we can click on the save and send test request button. So to do the test submission, I'm simply going to go towards this file upload, and I'm just going to upload the lease agreement right over here. And once I'm just going to upload this lease agreement, with this we have successfully completed the test submission. And now I'm just going to click on the save and send test request so that Pabbly can capture the response for the same. And over here you can see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response for the same. Over here you can see all the details. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what is going to happen is that whenever a new file is uploaded in this specific folder within 10 minutes, the workflow is going to get triggered. Alright, so now I'm just going to move on forward. Now I just want to extract the details from this lease agreement using an AI agent. For that, I'm just going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as extract content from PDF/image and click on this connect. And after clicking on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So now if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this page, we are simply going to click on this button which says create secret key. You simply have to enter the key name, select the project, and click on this create secret key button. I've already created many keys, so I'm just going to paste one of these only, which is right over here, this. And after pasting this key, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it's asking me to select the OpenAI model, so I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4 Mini. You can select any another of your choice. And now it's asking me for the PDF URL. So we're not just going to enter the PDF URL manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map this web content link right over here for the PDF URL. And now it's asking me for the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. So over here, I'm just going to extract the details using the structured output. But this prompt is a required field, so I'm just going to enter a simple prompt which is extract me the details from given PDF. So I'm just going to enter extract the details from given PDF. So I'm simply going to enter it right over here. And after entering this, over here it is asking me for the structured output. So you must be wondering from where we're just going to get this structured output JSON object. So to get this, I'm simply going to follow this important notes, and it is saying to generate the structured output JSON object, navigate to this URL. Alright, so I'm simply going to open this URL, and we're just going to generate this JSON object without knowing any programming or coding language. For that, we are simply going to click on this button which says generate, and now it is asking me to enter the prompt to generate the JSON schema. So to enter this prompt, I'm simply going to open my notepad. And now over here in the notepad, I'm just going to enter the details which I want to extract. So first detail which I want to extract is the tenant name. So I'm simply going to enter tenant name right over here. And after entering the detail which I want to extract, I'm just going to move on towards a new line, and I'm just going to enter type. Over here, I'm just going to enter the type of this detail, which is a short text. So I'm simply going to enter type short text. Alright, I'm just going to add these spaces, and I'm just going to move on towards a new line and enter the description for the same, which is extract and provide me the full name of the tenant as mentioned in the lease agreement. So like I did for tenant name one by one, I'm just going to do it for all the details. And now you can see that I've successfully entered it for all of these details, and now I'm simply going to copy this prompt right from here, and now I'm just going to paste it right over here to generate the JSON schema, and I'm just going to click on this create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, my JSON schema will be generated without knowing any programming or coding language. So we just have to wait for a few seconds, and as you can see, the JSON schema schema has been generated. So I'm simply going to copy it, and then I'm just going to simply paste it right over here in the structured output field. And after pasting this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, my AI agent is going to extract all of these details from my PDF and give it to me right over here as the response. And now you can see that we have successfully received the response, and now I'm just going to add these details into my Google Sheets. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as add a new row and click on this connect. Now it is asking me for the same again. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets, you can go towards this, select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to go towards add a new connection, sign in with Google, and like we connected our Google Drive account, that you have to select the Gmail account and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, and your Google Sheets account will be connected. I've already connected my Google Sheets account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And after connecting my Google Sheets account, I'm just going to select the spreadsheet which is Lease data extract. And after selecting the spreadsheet, we are simply going to select the sheet right over here which is sheet 1. Now one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the tenant name, then I'm just going to map the property address, then I'm just going to map the start date, and then I'm just going to map the end date. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details, and at last I'm just going to click on this save and send test request so that these details can be added into my Google Sheets. So as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully added these details into my Google Sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and now over here you can see the details have been added. You can see the tenant name, property address, lease start date, end date, monthly rent, and security deposit. So you can see these details are exactly the same which we have received right over here in this document. Over here you can see the start date, end date. Over here you can see the monthly rent, security deposit is exactly the same which we have added right over here in my spreadsheet. So no more manual copy pasting. With this we can successfully do all of this at backend. Now whenever I'm just going to upload a lease agreement into my Google Drive, automatically using those details, my AI agent is going to extract the content from that PDF and add that into my Google Sheets. So yes, this is no magic. This is the power of automation which we have created just now, and now we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend, and we just have to sit back and relax. So now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.